New chapter, that is Photoshop, an introduction. Okay, what is Photoshop? Photoshop is a raster graphic editor. Okay, it was developed by the Adobe and published by also the Adobe system. Okay, and that is why it is called the Adobe Photoshop. So Photoshop is also known as Adobe Photoshop. Okay, in the computer graphics, a raster graphic image is a dot matrix data structure representing generally rectangular grid of pixels. Dot matrix. Okay, dot matrix, like this. Graphics or pixel element we say, right? In the standard 7 also we read. Or points of color viewable in a monitor, paper or other display medium. And raster images are stored in the image files where with different formats, or they vary in the formats. Not all the files or the elements are equal. Okay. Now question arises, rasterizing means what? Rasterizing means changing the text or image into the form in which they can be printed, whereas Photoshop can edit and compose the raster image in multiple layers. Okay, and the Photoshop must often use PSD or PSB files. Okay, format to store the digital image. Remember, Photoshop was created in the year 1988 by the American brothers, the name called Thomas and John Knoll. Okay, Thomas and John Knoll. Okay, next we will see how to work with the Photoshop. Work with the Photoshop, you can start photoshopping a picture or a photograph by following a procedure mentioned here. The procedure as first one is opening the file. How to open the file to the Photoshop. Okay, click on the file. Right under the Adobe Eye. Adobe Eye will be there like this. Okay, Adobe Eye. Okay, Eye will be there. Below the, right under the Adobe Eye, on the very top bar of the Photoshop windows. Now choose the open from the photo down box. Okay, and an open dialog box will appear. Search the file and click on open. The photos or the image will be automatically come into your to the Photoshop. But before that, it will ask how to create a new file, whether it has the length, its pixel, its width, okay, height, etc., resolutions, color modes, etc. will be asked. So to create the new files, click on the tab or file tab right under the Adobe Eye on the very top bar of your Photoshop windows and choose the new from the drop down box. Okay, new one that you choose. Then there will be a dialog box appearing. Choose a size of your file, and the next step, choose what unit you want to click. You want by clicking on the little arrow point downwards. Be sure that RGB color mode is chosen. RGB color. Okay, RGB color we have already. This is also already we have read in the HTML. Okay, color background, raster color background. Okay, and click on OK after making the changes. This is how you create the new file. Now if you want to make a new channel, okay, new channel, after opening the file or creating a new one, you have to find your channels palette first. This is most likely grouped with the layer palettes, different type of layers, as we have discussed in the standard 7 also, class CS3 in the chapter, right? Here saying that how to make the new channel, click on the layer plate. Click on the create new channel icon beside the delete current channel icon or the trash bin. In step 3, your new channel will be shown titled as Alpha 1. Alpha 1 will be the new channel. Okay. Then your background, for it will be black by default, and your foreground and background colors will be black and white. Now you can change the foreground and background colors by pressing the cross key. Okay, red cross key. After doing that all, how to save the file question arises here. After making your foreground or a background or default white, black, white, whatever, you must save your file. How to save the file? To save the file, click on the File tab, select the Save options from the menu, and there will be a Save dialog box will appearing. Give a name to your file, Save button. Okay, will be saved with the your name with the format .psd. Okay, extension name. Now, question arises. This is all about how to work with the Photoshop. Now, what do you mean by the Photoshop interface? Okay, Photoshop interface says that Photoshop interface refers to a shared boundary across which two separate components of a computer system can exchange their information between themselves. So the exchange of information can be a software, computer hardware, any peripheral devices, humans, combinations of others. Okay, interface means what? It is a barrier through which the information can be shared from one computer with the others by connecting them. Okay. So there are many complex elements of the interface that can be shared. We will read one by one. That includes the toolbars, options, pens, and that you will need to perform the most basic task in the Photoshop. Okay. Elements of the interface. What are the different elements of the interface? The most important element of the interface or Photoshop interface is the toolbar, because that toolbar contains the bunch of icons that represents the different tools of Photoshop offers to alter and create the images, and these include the tool for selecting specific areas of image, changing the colors of the image, scratching, transforming their shape, and erasing the parts of an image that is not needed, and many more. Okay, so these are the many more interface element we can have in the interface of the Photoshop. To get an idea of what some of these tools can do, mouse over the icons. You will get an explanatory tooltip. Okay, this is what are the interface element. Next we will go to the menu. What does the menu contain and how is this important? Menu are probably the most familiar interface element to a new Photoshop user. They contain all sorts of options, but all sorts of options, but they are not as visible as pens or the other toolbars. They are often only partially explored. Let's learn about this menu in brief. And what does it contains in brief? First one is file. File contains the various options. Okay, such as new, open, import, etc. Save for web, which allows you to export a ready image from your Photoshop file. Okay. Next one is edit. This menu allows you to make the variation in your creation. Addition means what? Some changes in your creations. Image. The items on the image menu affect the whole image. Here you will find color adjustment, size adjustment, any other changes you need to make when working with the Photoshop files, etc. Okay. And layers, we are already acquainted with layers word, that is, this is similar to the image menu, but it contains what? That options that affect the current or selected layers. Options in the layer menu affect the single pieces of the image rather than the complete images. Okay. Now select menu or the select button. The select button deals with the selections of the creation that you have made, and select the specific parts of an image you would like to alter is a difficult part of working in the Photoshop. So this menu gives you some options regarding the selections, including the abilities to save the selections, reverse them and add to them. Okay. Next come to the filter. Filter allows you to filter the specific part of your image, and filter includes the way to change the texture of the image with some potentially radical results. Okay. Then you will go to the view. View menu helps you to change the view settings you can use to show and display the guidelines on the image, and to zoom in and out among the things or other things. Next comes the windows. Window menu allows you to toggle back or forth between the hide and show for each interface element, and this is the first place you should go if you lose the track of a particular window while you are working. Then you must go to the windows. Okay. Help, there will be a help button, and help button includes a link to the Adobe online system, automatically online help system. Several features, regarding the several features are present, such resizes the images, any new effects that you would like to add. Okay, so these are all. So these all can be done by the help menu. Okay. Next come to simple. We will talk about the toolbar. Toolbar is another. So toolbar is the graphical control element which on screen button, icon, menus and other input for or output elements are placed. Okay. So the Photoshop's the toolbar is distinguished from a palette by its integration into the edges of the screen, which result in wasted space if too many underpopulated bars are stacked. Suppose there are too many. Okay. More than two. Okay. Or many others. Then stop each other or interface inefficiency means what? Overloaded bars are placed on the where? Small windows. Okay. So next, after the toolbar, there will be a panel. Panel, like computer system, it has control panel. Photoshop also has a panel of its own. So this is an important features of the Photoshop interface. All sorts of information are displayed in this panel. The panes, we say, this display the location information, tool options, history, and among the other things also. Next come to the option bar. This bar is located directly underneath to the menus, and this is useful to when working with the different Photoshop tools. For example, we say when the selection tool is in use, and option bar reflects the changes that can be made, how that specific tool operates. Okay, and there will be option bar in your book. You can go through the book. You can see the several pictures. Okay, it is described better in your book. So this is all about today's class. Next class we will discuss the working with Photoshop tools, and this chapter will be going to finished. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.